I don't rock with child support. And a lot of people say, why? Let me explain it. Without child support, what do? And see, one of the biggest things in the black community is the home. Why is the home in the black community so destroyed? And I'm going to talk about this picture right here. What is the problem with the black community? Why is the black community home destroyed the way it is? And one of the problems to me, now this is my personal opinion, and I am also human. I may feel one way today, and my view on something may change tomorrow on a particular topic. I'm also human. Let me bring up this chat. All right. So my opinion on something may change tomorrow, but far as with the black community and getting the home back together, I say far as with the child support system, every man should take care of his child financially. Ain't not only financially, he has to be there as well because all these celebrity fathers you see out there just trying to financially think they off the hook is bananas. But I don't I don't like the child support system. Reason why I tell women this: what do you do without it? Ask any other country in the world. Then people try to say, "Oh, it's a culture thing. It's a culture thing." Wait a minute. Ask anybody who's 65 plus. What did they do without child support? The reason the black community is in the ruins it's in is because of the broken single family home, single mothers. One of those issues is child support. What do you do without child support? I'm gonna tell you what you do without child support. You have to choose wisely. You have to choose a man that is not going to run off. You have to choose a good man. I want to take y'all to this picture right here.
When they over incarcerate you.
This one right here. Great grandma's 45, grandma's 30, new mom is 15. And a new baby, not a man in sight. This is the reason why America is all fucked up. Now, we had a debate on this earlier today on Facebook. Today we were debating this. Grandma's 45, grandma's 30, new mom. And I know a lot of families like this. And child support and welfare, what it does is take away the responsibility from the family. I know a lot of women who are 35 with children 20 plus, and they don't care if their daughter go out there and get pregnant because they're not on the grandmas don't have to pay for that child's baby. If that child sleeps with somebody that's going to run off, she don't care because welfare is going to take care of it. But if you put that responsibility back on that mother, on the grandmother, she'll make damn sure that her daughter don't go out there and get pregnant. I know a lady from Nigeria. She told me matter of fact, a lady from Nigeria, she was saying, "Look, my mother set me down at 8 because if if that man ran off, that family is on the hook." So the lady from Nigeria who I work with, who I speak upon all the time, her mother told her, "Look, your ass come in here and get pregnant, you out of here. Ain't no welfare to get on. You screwed." And she couldn't go out there and sleep with anybody. But what we're doing is reward bad behavior. Now the families don't have to make sure that child doesn't come home pregnant. My co-worker, she tell me, "Look, my uncles call and check on me, my cousins, because if she come home pregnant and the man run off, that mother, the grandmother of the child, is going to have to take care of that baby. The uncle of that child is going to take care of that baby. The father, the grandfather is going to have to take care of that baby. So they make damn sure she don't sleep with nobody that's going to run off." That's what we need to get back to. That's what we have to get to. If we don't get a welfare, now this is the base. Mainly, I want to talk about child support. Now, I'd say get rid of child support system. Every man should take care of his child financially, mentally, physically, everything. A man should do that, has to do that. However, why is that not being implemented? I tell you, the child support system. Because now with the child support system and the welfare system, women can now sleep with just any damn body. He doesn't have to like her. He doesn't have to be with her. And he damn sure don't have to marry her. So now she's sleeping with a piece of dirt, cat that's in and out of jail, no crib, no car, no career, and he runs off. He runs off. Now you got the killers, the drug dealers, the cycle that's going to continue. 762 murders in Chicago. Who kids do you think those were? I'm going to tell you who kids they were. Single mothers, no question. And that's where we have to get back to, the family. And one thing about the black community is that you can't stop what you don't know. Everybody want to know why is the violence? Why so much crime? Why so much violence in Chicago? Nobody wants to address the real issue. Everybody want to say, let's get mentors for them at 16. If they grow up with no father in poverty, they're killers already at 16. It's too late for them. You might be able to reach 2 or 3 out of 100. But if they grow up with no father, no child, in poverty, no mentors, when they're children, they're already screwed by the time they're 16. I just went to a mentoring program, which was a very great program, loved it. However, you're trying to mentor teens who grew up without a father who are already scarred. Why reach them at 16 instead of reaching them before they're born is what we have to get back to. Get the problem before the problem starts. If you reach the problem before it starts, you don't have to mentor these children. We cannot try to put a Band-Aid over a bullet wound. It's what we're trying to do. And nobody's talking about it. And the reason why nobody's talking about it is because everybody's scared of what women are going to say. Men are scared that women are going to just snap on them. Oh, hell no. What the fuck? Men are scared of that. And I was just on a Facebook post, and the women were going in. Oh, these no good ass men. They keep running off. Why are you sleeping with men that's going to run off? Plenty of good men. I know a sister, man, 40, 50 different women, 40, 50 different men come at her daily. She stayed single, but she was screwing somebody. Single and celibate. She stayed screwing somebody else's man. She got pregnant. Guess what? He ran off. She didn't care because she was just going to get child support. She didn't care because she was just going to get welfare. She already had a brand new house. That welfare on Section 8 got her. So she didn't scare. She goes, continue to screw around because she's getting rewarded for it. She just got a new house. She gets over $1,000 in food stamps. She gets free medical, free dental, free everything for it. She ain't got to do nothing but go to the mailbox for the rest of her life. Sleep, drink, eat, screw around. That's it. That's all she got to do. And that's all the black community is teaching our children is to worship is welfare and child support. And we don't know no different. None of these community activists are talking about it. None of these community activists are doing anything about it. And which is terrible because nobody knows any better. And there lies our biggest problem in the black community. I may feel until we solve that particular problem, there's nothing else we can do in the black community. I'm just testing out this new super chat.
You're going to go out and have a march, a demonstration. We're going to march.
And here lies the biggest problem in the black community. Not a man in sight. And this type of behavior is encouraged. People all over Facebook, Twitter, shouts out to the single mothers. Are you bananas? Shouts out to the single mothers are destroying the black community. Their children are 60, 70% dropout rate. 90% to go to jail, 90% to use drugs, 90% those killers. 100% of the black problem in the black community. are single mothers. Why do we praise that stupid behavior in America? Africa, they shun that behavior. You're a single mother, they disown you. Literally. They don't give you a baby shower, they literally disown you. Reason why they disown you, they have to pick up that slack, the aunties, the uncles. And before it happens, since they know they're on the hook for that child, they're on that young girl. Where are you going? Why are you going over there? What are you doing? Who are you doing it with? You can't come in here after 10 o'clock. Where are you at? In most countries, and I tell people, look, a lot of people say, Donald, what are you going to do without child support? You going to let him off the hook? No, you're not going to put him on the hook. Why are you sleeping with somebody that's going to run away anyway? Why are you sleeping with somebody you don't even know if they're going to run away? You don't even know if he's responsible. You don't have a job, no crib, no car, career. And that's the problem, biggest problem in the black community. Everybody want to dance around that topic. Everybody want to hide behind that. Act like it don't exist. These community activists are scared to say it because they know women gonna just yell and cuss and fuss about it. Until we solve the single mother, the child support welfare, and the child support and welfare, we were going in on a Facebook post. This was the one. The grandmother's 45, grandmother's 30, new mom 15, new baby, not a man in sight. And welfare is the cause because welfare rewards this horrible behavior. Let these women just get out there, sleep with any damn body, and they go get rewarded for it. So why wouldn't they just go and get pregnant by just any goddamn body? Because they're being rewarded for it. We're actually praising that type of behavior. And 3 and 4 baby daddies are the norm for the black community. And that's why the African community, they shun that type of behavior. We are rewarding this horrific behavior, in which is something we have to stop doing. We have to address the single parent issue. We have to address it. And behind the single parent issue is child support and welfare. I tell women, and I ask them, all right, cool. You say there should be child support? All right, tell me what happens when you get rid of it. The answer is when you get rid of it, you have to make a just decision on who you sleep with. You no longer can't just sleep with any damn body. You can't just sleep with whoever. You have to make a just decision on your choices. There's no longer just sleeping with anybody in the community. That's not, and which is horrible. And that's what we're getting in our community today, and that's what we see, and that's the horrible decisions we must put an end to. Anyway, I'm gonna get off this post. I'm gonna do another live feed tonight. I'm gonna do a few shows. I'm filming for the Chicago Way documentary, and that's another thing. And that's what brings me to this, is because doing a documentary, we're researching on how did we get here? How did the black community get in such horrible conditions? Now, start before welfare. Black community had like a 90, only no, the national average, it was only 7% children's out of wedlock. Welfare hit, we had 76% and higher in the black community. That's not by coincidence. I want you to ask any foreigner, excuse me, you're from China, you're from any other country in the world that doesn't have welfare. None of them do. What do y'all do in your country? You say, oh, it's a culture thing, and no, this culture. Okay, ask somebody 70 years old. What did y'all do 70 years ago without child support? They're going to tell you, Donald, I couldn't just go lay with nobody. The man I chose, he had to be somebody I was going to assure that was going to be there for the rest of his life, the rest of that child's life. If it was yes, then you could lay down. If no, it wasn't happening. Child support enables bad behavior because no other country in the world has it. I think only 1 or 2. Before child support and welfare, it was only 7% children under wedlock. Now it's and nationally it's like 70%. In the black community, especially Chicago, it's at damn near 90% children being born. 2 and 3 baby daddies is the normal. And in all 3 of these cats are deadbeats. That's because welfare is going to reward you. You can just go sleep with anybody. It doesn't matter. Once you reward bad behavior, you get 10 times more of it. If they make murder, that you get a check for murdering somebody, you get 1,000 times worse because everybody would just get out there and murder anybody that come along. And this is the topic we were having on Facebook, is the problem in the black community and this particular post. Great grandma's 45, grandma 30, new mom is 15 and a new baby. Not a man in sight. Not a single man in sight. This is why America's fucked up. And that's true. Who do you think, 762 murders last year, who kids you think those was? Of the murders. Who kids you think those was? We are praising horrible behavior in the black community, and we have to stop it. African culture, they shun this bad behavior. And welfare and child support enables these, it takes away the responsibility from that family, because once that family once you see your little sister running out there and she go get pregnant and it fall back on the mother and the brothers and the uncles and the grandfathers and the grandmothers, they're gonna make sure she doesn't go out there and get pregnant. They're gonna make sure she in the house. They're gonna make sure she dressed appropriately, and that's why you're seeing so much horrible behavior, because we're having children having children. Not only that, we're having children laying with no good men. No good men, and child support and welfare enables that. They're able to go lay with a no good man, and because she doesn't have to make a good choice anymore. With welfare and child support, we taking away a good behavior.
They're able to go lay with
Without welfare and child support, you have to make a good, just decision the first time. And it wasn't no option. No crib, no car, no career, beat it. Beat it. If you don't have the means to take care of a child, now understand this. It's the man's job to take care of that child, to clothe that child, to feed that child, to house that child. If she chooses someone that can't or doesn't want to, shame on her. That's why people ask, what's the solution then? The solution is get rid of child support, get rid of welfare. Once you get rid of child support and welfare, you ask, damn, what are you going to do? Then you have to make a just decision before you lay down. You can't no longer you can't no longer just sleep with anybody. And then they're going to say, okay, I just put you on child support since you don't want the kid anyway. You don't want to take care of him. Why are you sleeping with somebody that don't want a child? Why are you sleeping with somebody that don't want you? Why are you sleeping with somebody that's not going to take care of his responsibility? Because we know it. I want anybody that don't believe me, ask a foreigner, excuse me, what do y'all do? And they're going to tell you, look, I can't go just sleep with anybody. That ain't an option. I can't go get on child support. I can't go get welfare. So I had to make a good decision. I want you to, any of you guys, go visit somebody in the Cook County jail. Go visit somebody in the Cook County jail right now, today. If you go visit somebody in Cook County jail, it's going to look like America's Next Top Model in that waiting room. It's going to literally look like America's Next Top Model. Not one inmate is single but 80% of the school, guess what? The men are single. And that's one of the biggest problems. So what's going on, Sunshine Bright? You say, how is it her fault? You know men lie. I do get that. And I do hear some women say that, he ran a good game. He ran a good game at first. But you know what? Ask anybody from another country. They're going to tell you in the gate, that motherfucker had to bring a ring. Matter of fact, I talked to older women about this, particularly a very close family member. I'm not going to say which family member, but very close family member of mine. She's 65. She's beautiful. She's beautiful. She said the football coach, meaning the football captain wanted it. The basketball captain wanted it, but it wasn't no welfare. Wasn't no child support to get on. So the motherfucker I laid with had to bring a ring. It wasn't no motherfucking sleep with him. He was 6'8". He was 6'7". That motherfucker wanted it and was begging for it. But he didn't bring a ring. That motherfucker didn't get none. It was just like that because my grandmother sat my mother down and said, my mother was growing up in Mississippi in a one-bedroom shack. My grandmother sat my mother down and said, motherfucker, that you come in this motherfucking house with your belly sticking out, I'm gonna fuck you up and you out of here. Ain't no welfare to get on. So your ass to be eating out the fucking garbage. And we have to get back to that. Yep, and if my mother went out there and got pregnant back then, it was on my grandmother. And my grandmother made goddamn well, and my grandfather made goddamn well. Where are you going? What are you wearing? Who the fuck is that calling you? Nowadays, I got a homegirl. Matter of fact, every one of my homegirls, every one, and this is a tragedy. Some of them subscribe to my channel. But if you watch, look, some of them, they didn't have to worry about their child getting pregnant because they know welfare was going to take care of them. One of my homegirls that I knew, I used to be over there. I'm like, damn, where's blah, blah, blah? And her daughter was 16 at the time. I'm like, where's she at? Oh, she at her boyfriend's house. I'm like, damn, she was 16 and she's spending the night 2-3 days at her boyfriend's house. But she didn't care because she had three different children with 3 different baby daddies, and child support took care of her. She knew her daughter was going to get child support, so she didn't care that her daughter was going to go out there and get pregnant, and sure enough, she got pregnant. She got on welfare. She got Section 8. She's living in the city now. She just had another child by another guy who also ran off. But she don't care because welfare is going to take care of her. Now, before she's done, she's going to have 3 or 4 with 3 or 4 different baby daddies. None of the baby daddies, once you bring back a just decision, we're rewarding a horrible behavior. And if you reward bad behavior, you get 10 times more of it. Once you cut off welfare and child support, you make a great decision the first time, you don't have no more. Thus lying, the biggest problem in the black community is the single home. Why is the home single? Child support and welfare. And and it ain't by coincidence that we only had 7% children out of wedlock before child support. The year child support was implemented, we had 76%. Which is bananas. Which is unreal. Now, you know what I mean? And nowadays, even if you're not getting married, that's cool. I ain't saying you got to get married now. But when I talk to women, like, yo, what's going on? Oh, I got to get my child. I got to do this. Wait a minute. Yo, where's he at? Oh, well, yeah, you know, he ain't around. Damn, who is he? Oh, his other kids. He had 4 other kids he don't take care of. I got homeboys that never had a job, that never wanted a job, hustled in and out of jail. They got 10 different women. They got 10 different kids. I know cats in school, master's degrees, bachelor's degrees, single. Now, how backwards is our community? Now, I talk about the black community. I don't put anybody else, any white or any other communities in my equation because I'm concerned about my community and nobody else's. And that's what I speak upon. I speak upon problem in the black community because a lot of these activists are scared to call out what the problem is, what the biggest problem in the black community is. And the biggest problem is our homes. Everybody is scared of what women are going to say. Now, it's, you know what, men have a lot to play. Men do have to step up and be better fathers. But then you can also say, hey, that man who's a piece of dirt from a single mother. No question. Men are going to have to step up. Yes. But imagine from a man's perspective. Now, I started off on the woman's side. I was like, man, me and y'all got to step up. Y'all motherfuckers got to step up. What the hell are y'all doing? Y'all out here. All right, what's going on, Sunshine Bright? I see that you say, seem to me that there's a problem with the men not being accountable. True. I mean, the men men have to step up, and everybody has to hold them accountable. But then, as soon as you do hold them accountable, and like I was, if there was a man, I got a homeboy who I don't talk to no more because he has a loving little girl. And this snake, if you don't take care of your own little girl, you'll stab me in the back. Fuck stab me in the back. You'll stab me in the face if you don't even care for your own little girl. I cut him off. I don't even talk to him. He called me. I ain't talked to him in like 5 years. In fact, but I talked to him. He was at a function I went to, but I don't have nothing to do with him. Because if you cut your own little girl off, and which is true, men should disown their homies and disown your family member. If you got a family member, but a deadbeat dad has a whole deadbeat family to me. You know what I'm saying? Because my mother would kill me. My father, he passed away, but would kill me if I had children I didn't take care of. That's bananas. My aunties, my entire family would disown me. And that's how it should be. Definitely hold men accountable, but then soon as, how I do, but soon as my same homeboy who ran out on this little girl and got other little girls out there, you talk to him, he got 10 other different women. He got 10 other different women. And you talk to these women and they all know that he's a deadbeat dad. They all know that he got 10 other women. And do you know that these girls are still sleeping with this man? You know that this guy has over 10 different women? He even has one main female. And these women are still sleeping with him. Because they know as soon as they get pregnant, they're going to get on child support and they're going to be on welfare. And welfare is going to take care of them. In fact, he doesn't work, so he ain't worried about child support. But they know that they could go out and get welfare. They could get a new house. They get over $1,000 in food. So now if we go run at the men, what the hell are you doing? Go take care of your child. Go take care of your child. And then you look at her. I pick up the phone. What's going on, girl? Oh, you having another child? Oh, does he have a job? Oh, no, he ain't got a job. Oh, he in jail? He ran off too? And sure enough, 3 years later, she got another child. By another deadbeat dad. The Muslims, and there was a scene in Malcolm X. There was a scene in Malcolm X that Elijah Muhammad, he set Malcolm down and he said, look, Malcolm, your job is going to be very hard. And he had a glass. If you don't believe, look up in the movie Malcolm X. Elijah Muhammad set him down and said, look, the message that you give to these young girls is critical because it starts with the woman. I went to a mentoring program in the city and they had a lot of young brothers there. And mentoring is cool. But if they grow up without a father, it's too late for them. It's, what's up, Orange? How are you? Orange Bread, like no one should have children out of wedlock. Being married is the first step, being responsible and accountable. Absolutely, sister, absolutely. But a lot of activists want to catch these children when they're 16 and grew up. And they're traumatized already. We have to stop it before it starts. If you stop it before it starts, then they don't need mentors. If they growing up in a two-family household, a loving household with 2 incomes, then they don't have to grow up in poverty. They don't have to need a mentor at 16. If you mentor them at 16 and they're already traumatized, it's too late to try to mentor them then. So a lot of these activists, and they're scared to call out the single-parent household. And you know, other countries, they don't play with single-parent household. They stopped that, and then 60 years ago, we did too. Before welfare and child support, it forced a great decision. You couldn't go out there and run out and sleep with anybody. My homeboys, we hold them accountable. Look here, man, take care of your little girl. I don't even talk to the brother no more. But that brother got more women than, what's up? He got more women than you could. Every day he got a new woman. He got over 10 women and a main female that he's sleeping with. And he's in and out of jail sometimes too. Never had a job, and he's never going to get a job because he knows child support is going to get him. So he just sell drugs, hustle, and sleep with different women every day. But the men is, so as soon as you do hold a man accountable, you call her up, and here she done ran off with another cat, Same situation. No crib, no car career because welfare is going to catch her. Welfare is going to support her. And that's what you're getting. You're getting the bad batch. So this next generation is going to be 10 times worse. The solution, get rid of welfare completely. Now, I know some people do need it. But if you run out there and have a child with a cat that couldn't take care of the child, couldn't take care of that child, doesn't want to take care of the child, it's your problem. That's your problem. And your family's problem. Because once you put it back on the family, that family is going to make sure you don't go out there and fuck up. They're going to make sure you don't fuck up. And thus lying the biggest problem once we bring back the family. Now, a lot of people think that once we take away welfare, it's just going to collapse. Everybody's just going to go crazy and start killing each other. No, that's not the case. I talked to a woman the other day. She said, man, you know, when she wasn't on welfare, she started selling food plates out of her house. She had to do what she had to do to survive. She had 3 kids with 3 different baby daddies, of course, and they all ran off, of course. Not saying that all of them do. But yo, if I talk to 100 women today, 98 of them are going to have the exact same story. They slept with a cat who already had 4 or 5 kids who didn't take care of, didn't want to take care of, didn't like her, didn't want the child. He ran off. So she didn't care. She just went on welfare. And just like you see on girls, but child support. Because they know once it's a safety net, once you take that safety net, now that I told you guys about it, ask somebody 65 plus, what did y'all do without child support and welfare? What did y'all do? They're going to look you in the, they're going to laugh at you first. They're going to tell you, I couldn't go out there sleep with nobody. My family members will tell you in the gate, look here, he wanted it, he wanted it, he wanted it. He was the captain of the football team. My relatives are beautiful. And we talk about this at family functions. They be like, look, he wanted it. He wanted it. He go to basketball captain. He wanted it. But without welfare and child support, if they laid down, they were screwed. So you couldn't lay down with them. It was just that. It was just that simple. Once you cut off bad behavior and penalize bad behavior, now penalize it by making you on the hook. So that mother, my grandmother, was on my mother and my aunties. My mother didn't play. My grandmother didn't play. My grandfather didn't play. In fact, none of them did play back in them days. They didn't play. They didn't let you walk out the house in leggings. Wasn't an option. My mother couldn't do that. My mother couldn't do nothing. My grandparents were so strict, they didn't let, because they wasn't no. Now, I got homegirls that don't care that their kids go out there and get pregnant. Don't care because welfare is going to take care of that grandchild anyway. So they're like, all right, cool. You going out for 3-4 days? Have fun. Come home pregnant? Oh, okay. My homegirl's like, oh, I'm like, where's, I don't want to say her name, but I'm like, yo, where your daughter at? Oh, she had a boyfriend crib. Boyfriend crib? You letting her sleep 2-3 days out? And sure enough, came home pregnant. She didn't care because welfare got her house. They get taxes at the end of the year. They get free food, free car, free Section 8, medical, dental. They get they even get a free cell phone. They get free school, free childcare, free lunch at school, free everything. In fact, there's a study that just came out that says they make more than a woman on than a two-family household. This was the picture that all this stemmed from Facebook. Great grandma 45, and I know so many families like this. One of my closest homegirls' family is just this. And her daughter's 24, and she was like, Donald, I'm 36. I'm like, I didn't even know this girl was 36. I think her daughter was, 20 at the time, 21. Daughter looked older than her. She was like, yeah, Donald, I'm 36. I'm like, 36? You 36? Your grandmother? But she didn't care because, welfare was going to take care of that. And what we've done was take the good man out the equation. And now it's not about a good man, it's about a good penis. Because I see the Facebook post, and anybody that's got Facebook know exactly what I'm talking about, or female friends, as I do. And this is what behavior goes on and on in the black community. And everybody's scared to call this out. Everybody's scared to talk about it because they know women gonna snap out, jap out. Like, but surprisingly, once I talk to women about this, 9 out of 10 times they agree with me. A lot of them agree with me. A lot of them like, look, I made a mistake. Cool, I owned up to it. I ain't never make it again. I made it once. That was it. But once you take away welfare, it eliminates bad behavior. It eliminates that horrible decision. You think twice before you make that, and then thus bringing back the two-parent household, bring back the good man that raises their children. The 700 some odd murders, and somebody's getting murdered out here every 10 hours in Chicago. The single parent household is rapid out here. It's worse. Poverty, single household is bananas out here. Bananas out here. And that's why. You take away the man from the equation, women cannot raise a man. That's a fact. Women cannot raise men. That's a fact. It takes a man to raise a man. It takes a real man to raise a man. You got a cat. I know my homegirls, they smoke weed in front of their kids, drink in front of their kids. Can't do that. It takes a real man to take care of a man. Those Harvard graduates and our Princeton and those, they come from real two-parent, good parent households. And that's what we need to bring back into the equation. Because once women raise the standard, men raise up too. Once a lot of men, they know they ain't got to go to school. They don't have to be nothing because they're getting a lot of women. And for what? Why would they? They're getting a lot of women. If you getting it without having to raise that bar, then you know what I'm saying? Women have to raise the bar on men too. Raise that bar. Okay, Becky ain't gonna talk to you. No crib, no car, no career. Fuck on. No house, no nothing that you walk in. You need a ride for the day. I ain't gonna bring up any. I don't even like to bring up any other races or anything, and I'm not going to. I hate that. My sisters are beautiful. I love my black beautiful sisters, but every other race in the world has figured this out, and a lot of other races in the world are very hard on the women because it starts with the women. Instead of mentoring, and I told this the organizers of the mentoring program, I told them, look, you need the young ladies here too. The young ladies need to be here because they need to know who they lay down with is our next generation. You need the young ladies here, hearing the message of who they sleep with. Be very careful, very wary of who you lay down with. I think the women need the mentoring the most. Once you get a young child at 16, he's already grown up without a father. He's already traumatized. He's already a killer. He's gangbanging. He started gangbanging at 12 and 13. He's already full-fledged gone in the head. And in poverty, the killer already. And mentoring him at that age makes no sense because he's already gone. Anyway, I'm going to end this live. I'm going to do shows. I'm working on a Chicago Way documentary, and that's part of the reason why I bring it. Because part of the documentary is how did we get here? How did the black community get in the situation it's in? And what are you saying? You know, a lot of neglected mothers, Sunshine. Sunshine, what are you trying to ask? Anyway, y'all, I got to get out of here. Right, and so Chicago Way documentary, we're tracing back how did the black community get, and a lot of people think that welfare, matter of fact, it's fact that how did the black community get here with welfare and child support was put in the black community purposely to destroy the black home. The projects was built as a project. That's not a hood term for public subsidized housing. The projects was a real project. Look here, I'm gonna stack these people up in these buildings. We're going to reward the mother for bad behavior. In order for her to get those benefits, we're going to take out the man from the equation. We're going to reward her for having a child. Let's see how it goes. It was actual a project. Margaret Stanger, whatever her name was in the 70s, has a video. And she's saying, here's what we did. We wanted to see what these people would do and how it would go. And it worked so well. Now, they wanted to counter the Black Panthers in the 60s, 1964. They had a WIC program where they was feeding mothers who wanted to come down and get food, give them breakfast. And the government countered them by saying, no, don't go to them, come to us. We'll give you more benefits. And that's part of where welfare and the WIC program came to be. And so the government, it's a lot of evidence that the government is putting the welfare system in place to destroy the home, and it's done just that. You want to destroy a civilization of people, you bring out the good man from the home. You make that, you destroy that decision. You destroy that decision. You just bring out the good man from the home. They destroy themselves, and that's fact. And that's what's happening. That's what happened. So, and there's a lot of evidence that that's purposely placed for the blacks to kill themselves, to destroy our households, and it's worked. Look at us now. We're averaging in Chicago 600, 700. That's average for us. Every 10 hours, somebody is murdered. Somebody's being murdered as we speak, just here. And if you go around the country with everybody, black neighborhood, you're going to get the same thing. You're going to get the same thing. You have to get rid of welfare. That's where it comes from. That's our biggest problem in the black community. Any one of y'all want to ask another question? I'm about to go ahead and roll. But every female, and if you ask 10 women with children, you're going to get 10 women who every single one of them slept with somebody didn't even care if you had a job. I've been on dates. What's going on? Most of the murders are by the police. I believe that too. Something else is going on. Other factors are into it too. Don't get me wrong. A lot of people say, what about the war on drugs? Drugs killed, drugs destroyed the black family too. You know, and the police put that in place to destroy the Black Panthers, destroy the black community, and yes, that did work too. So it got a lot of our good men strung out on drugs. Then they put the war on drugs to put a lot of our good black men in prison. So a lot of them was taken to prison away from their children to raise their children. Now you get women who are out here single raising children on their own, you know. So if I was to do welfare, I would put it far as to where, you know, those women, those circumstances happen. If your man got, whether it was locked up or something happened. But if you went out there and slept with somebody and then came into the office like, hey, I want welfare. If, let's say in fact, I would try to bring back marriage. Okay, y'all married, y'all need help? Absolutely, let's help them. But yeah, I think most of the murders, I think the police, because 80% of the murders here in Chicago are unsolved. 80%. 80%. Out of 762 murders in 2016, 80% are unsolved. Out of the 762, they only solved like 62 murders. That's why a lot of these murders are just killing again. They're killing 2 and 3, 4, 5 times. And that's the problem. And then it's the craziest circumstances, the craziest things that are happening here in Chicago. And yeah, a lot of people say that the police behind it because they're not even trying to solve most of them. They're not even trying to solve them. They don't even care. That's a problem too. I'm gonna do another show, and I do shows about our police in the neighborhood. Here it is. We got all white police officers policing black neighborhoods, and they hate us. They write us tickets for any and everything, pull us over for any and everything, and that's a horrible problem we have to deal with, But we have to go back to policing ourselves. There's a group out here, Chicago, Sunshine Bright. You from Chicago? We got New Era Chicago out here that we got New Era Chicago out here that do police certain areas at night, and that's what we have to do. We got to step out of our houses and go back to policing our own neighborhoods. Now, I was a videographer for New Era Chicago for a long time, and their message, and I love their message. I was mainly videoing a lot of people who are. Do you follow? All y'all follow me on Facebook too. I do a lot of stuff on Facebook. A lot of my videos on Facebook, and I do a lot on Facebook. So follow me, just My Life in the Shy. Follow My Life in the Shy on Facebook. A lot of people were begging the mayor for a job. Give us jobs, please give us jobs. And New Era Chicago was like, man, fuck that. Shop black owned. Create your own jobs. Why are you begging the mayor for a job? Now, the other biggest issue is group economics. I talk about that a lot. I love Boyce Watkins, but he never talks about group economics. He always talks about individual wealth, building your wealth. But if I'm rich and I move to a white neighborhood and I'm spending all my money with them, it benefits blacks none, because now I'm just making whites richer. I spend my money in their neighborhood. I pay my taxes in the white neighborhood. That gives them power over us. That gives them power. Doesn't benefit blacks. And then blacks don't have to work as hard if we work as a group. If we spend our money with each other, we can open up more businesses. Chinese, they don't even go to school anymore because they know they can just open up a Chinese restaurant, build it in the black community, and get millions. They are millionaires. Chinatown, they don't have to spend, they got millions. They buy their politicians. They don't get out there and vote. They just buy their politicians. Bernie Sanders called out Hillary Clinton on it. She's already bought. So whether she made it or not, it didn't matter, because she was already bought by the big corporations anyway. Donald Trump called that out. He said Hillary Clinton was bought, and politics is bought. You buy your politicians. That's what blacks need to realize. Money equals power. And so I'm gonna talk about this till I'm blue in the face. Group economics and group economics and the family household structure is our biggest problem in the black community. Thus, we have to bring that back. We have to bring back our family structure. How do we do that? We get rid of welfare. Now, I'm tired of also talking about slavery. It's 2017. It's time to start talking solutions. A lot of people don't want to talk solutions because they put it off by saying, oh, yeah, see, because on slavery, they did this to us, they did that to us. It's time to stop making those excuses, because it's not gotten us nowhere. And it's never going to get us nowhere until we come back to black accountability on what we're going to do to get out of this mess. And believe it or not, we don't need welfare. We don't need it. We don't need it. Reparations would be good. We do deserve it. We deserve it because whites are able to pass down generational wealth to their children. They have $100,000 houses that they can just say, here you go, Timmy, here go your house. But blacks, our minds are destroyed right now. Whites should push for reparations because we don't know what to do with it. If we got reparations today, we would just make white people rich. We would go out, we'd spend it on whites and whites only. We won't even go shop black. We won't even circulate it within our community. We'll go buy a Cadillac truck. We'll spend that in a week or two. Most of us will spend it in 2 or 3 weeks. We'll go spend it in white neighborhoods. They would benefit more than we would. Yeah, not me either. I would spend it in the black community only. That's what they're scared of. The few people that do think that would spend it in guns in the black community. That's what we have to do. We have to shop black. We have to spend our money in our own community. We have to do that. And if we want to make it as a people. And some people don't want to go to college, and we shouldn't have to. I mean, we should be able to open up a business right down the street and make those millions that the liquor store is making. 18 million they average a year out to black community. Inglewood and all the black communities. Inglewood alone spent 27 million on lottery tickets. Not 10 cent came back to Inglewood. Um, Chinese food store is averaging 10, 15 million a year out to black community. Not one dime comes back because they keep their dual citizenship. They don't have to pay taxes on those businesses. We don't benefit none. We're getting raped. They don't spend a dime in our community. They don't live in our community. They take our money, take it back to their community, and we the dumb motherfuckers that give them our money. We're still buying from the Asians. In fact, they even teach this in China. Go to America, to the black neighborhoods. They are stupid enough to spend all their money with you. Go to America. They would never hire us. Chinese food stop you'll never see a black working in a Chinese food stop. And why would you shop in somewhere that won't even hire you? Why would you shop somewhere where they won't even hire you? You would shop somewhere where you're not allowed to work. They don't live there. They don't spend a dime in your community. And we're giving them all of our money and we're willing to do it. That's who the real coons are to me. A lot of cats are saying, oh, he's a coon, he's a coon. No, the people who shop in these and outside of your community, somebody was telling me, oh yeah, they got this in Orland Park. I don't shop in Orland Park and I never will. Because why? Because they won't shop in my neighborhood. Why would I shop in theirs? They won't spend a dime in my community. They drink. Yeah, and everybody that want to be entrepreneurs should become an entrepreneur now. Everybody who has a business, do it now. But we have to support each other. What we're doing now is we don't trust each other, so we're not even willing to come together. And all of us should be entrepreneurs. That's why I say get rid of welfare, because once you get rid of welfare, it forces people to become entrepreneurs. Honestly, one lady was like, look, I started selling plates of food out my house. In fact, one lady from Hurricane Katrina, she came to Chicago. She didn't have a dime and she couldn't get on welfare. So she had a food truck and just started making food and driving this shit outside of people's jobs and started selling it. Now she's, I don't think she's a millionaire yet, but she's wealthy now. And that's what we have to do. We have to become entrepreneurs. Because in the Great Depression, most millionaires came out of the Great Depression. Most of these companies, billion-dollar companies, came out of the Great Depression. Once you have struggle, you have opportunity. And people want to once you have child support and welfare, you get lax, you get lazy, you just smoking weed, drinking, and screwing all day. And that kills your drive. You smoking weed all day because you ain't got nothing else to do except go to the mailbox and get your check. And so it kills that drive. But once you get rid of all that, it brings back the entrepreneurs. It brings back people spending money in your black neighborhood. That'll bring back group economics. That'll bring back the family. Getting rid of welfare and child support alone would do just that. Anyway, y'all, I'm going to holler at y'all. I'll be on. Make sure y'all follow me on Facebook. Orange, Sunshine Bright. Y'all follow me on Facebook. Orange Burlock. Sunshine, y'all there? All right, let me get out of here, y'all.